Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance Podcast. It's been a couple of weeks, so I'll just remind you who's here. It's me, Ron Tate, and with me is
Isabel Tate,
yes, there you
your
go.
esteemed colleague, your esteemed coaching and podcasting colleague.
Very
I
esteemed.
was going to call you Ronald, like the woman at the Daily
Uh,
Spa kept calling
yes,
you Ronald.
Ronald. I kept looking
Like
over my shoulder,
around for this old man.
thinking I was in trouble.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Anyway, here we are.
here we are.
It's been 2 weeks.
Been 2 weeks.
And
Life has been busy.
2 weeks and a bit because we normally record on a Friday,
Yep,
but it was a special day Friday.
it
It
was.
was
It
a
was
public holiday in Victoria called AFL
AFL
Day.
Day, yeah, better known as Grand Final Day. But if you're as AFL ignorant as Isabel is, she just refers to it as AFL Day.
Because it's like AFL, and I'm like, who's even playing?
Uh,
I don't even
the
care.
amount of times I had to tell you who was playing because he said, "Who's playing in the
I
Grand
kept
Final again?"
forgetting, and
Yeah.
because it's so uninteresting. Sorry to all the AFL fans out there, but seriously,
Yeah, no, well, and for me as a Richmond supporter, I
yes,
didn't have a lot of interest in who was playing in the Grand
no,
Final this
no.
year.
No, of course not,
So
because um, the Brisbane Lions and
yeah,
and
very good.
Geelong
Yes,
playing.
very good.
I
Well
was
done.
going to say two random teams, but then I couldn't even.
You
I'm
couldn't
it's
name two
like
random
I
teams.
could, I know football. Bloody hell, I can sing most of the songs, And the one day in September, we want to remember there isn't
Any
any
shout?
doubting. You got it
Oh,
wrong.
God,
We'll
yeah.
be in there shouting because football's such a part of this old town. Okay, so I
Okay.
could go on,
Yep. No, you could. You're a football aficionado. I've always said that.
but I'm totally not interested. It's just I like singing and music and songs, and they stick in my head. Even
Yeah.
if it's to do with, well, because football songs are very rousing
They are
and
cat.
they invite you to sing along. Like
Mhm.
it is like they do it well. It's just, it's just football.
It's just the game itself you're not interested
Yeah,
in.
totally not interested.
No.
Like totally. I
Yeah.
once tried to, sit and watch the grand final with you and I got bored within two
Yeah.
minutes.
That's right. But that was when Richmond was playing, so I was completely interested and you were completely
Checked
uninterested.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried.
Yeah.
Anyway, 2 weeks. That's a lot to
Thanks.
catch up on. What have
Yeah.
we
So,
done?
well, what did you do last? Where were you last week?
Oh yeah, I was in Queensland.
In Queensland, sunny
Yes.
Queensland.
So we went to the airport, and Ron's like, oh, because I'm trying to look for my flight on the board, and he's
Oh,
like, because there's your
I
flight.
said your flight's here, and what did you say? You said no, it's not. This one's to Coolangatta. I
And you
said,
go to me, well, where do you think you're going? I'm like, the Gold Coast. I'm not going to Coolangatta. And then Ron tells me, and
then I kind of included the fact that Coolangatta Airport is the Gold Coast airport.
I'm like, oh, I wondered why they called it double OL. Ool. I was like, that's weird for Gold Coast.
Oh
Who
dear.
knew Coolangatta was on the Gold Coast?
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't.
That gave us a good laugh.
Yeah, it did give us a good laugh. And now every time I get directionally challenged,
Yes.
I say, is it anywhere near
Mhm.
Coolangatta? Yes.
But the funny fact was that we'd gotten all the way to the gate before you said that. Like, how did you buy your tickets? How did
Because I purchased a ticket for the Gold Coast. I didn't purchase a ticket to Coolangatta.
uh,
Okay.
yeah, okay, okay. It's
But
just each to their own. That's
I purchased a ticket to the Gold Coast. That's what it said. Anyway, so I went away for this business retreat, which it was okay. Well, I didn't get as much out of it as I would have liked. I found the running hard there because it was hot. And I'd gone from like freezing to death and wearing gloves to, oh my God, dying and being a sweaty puddle when I got back from my runs.
yeah, that's right. Because we went for a run the day that you flew out.
Yeah,
It was nice and early in the morning, and it was quite
it was cold.
chilly.
It was cold.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then it was boiling. And the place I was staying at, which were luxury apartments, the air conditioner made this screaming noise that sounded very similar to my tinnitus. So I couldn't have the aircon on. So it was just, and they didn't fix it, and it was just shit. And anyway, Anyway, enough whinging. It was all right. And what did you do while I was away?
I ate rubbish.
You did eat rubbish. You just tell them about your fish and chip feast you had.
Oh God. There's one thing when I have fish and chips that it's it's really bad, but it's so good. Like as I'm eating it, I know I can almost feel
Your
my
arteries
yeah, my
hardening.
arteries hardening as I'm eating it. It's a hamburger in batter, deep fried in batter. It is
I mean,
delicious.
obviously it's not the whole hamburger, peoples. It's
No,
just the meat
the meat
patty.
meat patty, yeah. Um, yep, dipped in batter and deep fried, and it is so good,
I'd never
yet
even
so
heard of
bad.
this disgusting
Yeah,
thing before, Ron. He only has them when I'm away, but
yeah.
I would like to try them one day
Well,
because it just sounds so bad. I mean, I've had a deep fried Mars bar, don't get me wrong.
yeah.
That was about 500 years ago, but
Mm.
yes, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
And then
good
but
stuff.
you also you had, that was just a snack. That was a mere snack, that, because you had fish
Yep.
and chips and potato cakes and
Some dip
dimmy.
sins, yeah, yeah.
Why does one person eat that much?
I have a special stomach when I'm eating rubbish.
No, Jesus Christ. And you
And
you
for
finished my
dessert,
birthday
for
cake.
dessert, I had had your
Chocolate.
leftover mud cake, birthday cake.
You're like Beard Meats. What is he called? Beard
Be-
Eats Meats?
Beard meets food.
Beard something like that. Beard
Yes.
Meats Food. He does these eating challenges. Look him up on
Yeah.
YouTube, people. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And he eats this massive amount of food, and then he goes, "Oh, do you have the dessert
Yeah.
menu?" And the restaurants are always like, "Oh my God,
How can
you
you
just did the
possibly?
challenge. How can you possibly?" And then he scarfs done.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah, it is. It's because everyone knows that dessert
Is a
is
separate.
a separate stomach.
I mean, I taught my kids that, but
Yeah.
you take the cake. Sometimes when we get takeaway, I literally cannot eat dessert, and
Yeah.
you'll go, "Well, I'm still going to
I'm
eat it."
so full, but what are we having for dessert? Or when are we having ice cream?
There comes a point where it just my stomach
Mm.
hurts.
Because Sundays is our
Junk food
junk
day,
food days or our spoil ourselves days.
yeah,
So, we
cheat meal,
will
whatever you want to
either
call it.
generally either have takeaway or we'll go out to a restaurant
Yeah.
for dinner. And then um, because we don't do it any other day of the week, we'll always have dessert, whether that's
We never have
ice
dessert
cream.
really. Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
we never have it during the week or any other time. So that's our Sunday treat,
Mm,
which is important because if you don't treat yourself every now and then,
yeah.
it makes following a
Clean eating
clean
diet.
eating diet really hard.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to treat yourself. I mean, we do it every week.
Before you met me, you did it every day.
That's right. Before I was the opposite. I did one day of clean eating and
No, you
and
didn't.
six
When was
day.
the clean eating?
I accidentally sometimes ate something nice and healthy. Um, but yeah, it's very important to, treat yourself every now and then so that it makes the rest of the time
Mm,
palatable.
yeah, yeah. That's what I've always found. I mean, to be fair, when I went for 5 years without eating any sugar or processed foods, I didn't really have any treats that whole time, but you do get used to that,
Hmm.
to be honest, you do. But it is nice to have something
Yeah,
yummy. I mean, we're pretty good and we live a pretty clean and healthy lifestyle. Just occasionally it's nice to have something delicious
it is. Yeah.
and naughty.
Hmm.
So yes, and then so what running did you do other than eating? What because you did
I
run.
did run. I did a 20K road run on the Saturday,
Yeah.
which was I just basically followed our local train line towards the city.
Yep.
And when I'd had enough, I just jumped on the train and caught it back home. Um,
Except there was
so
train works on, wasn't
except
there?
yes, except that I just happened to pick the weekend that buses were replacing
Mm.
trains because they were working on the rails. So I caught the train for, I don't know, two or three stations and then had to get off the train and catch a bus, which seemed to almost take me to the other side of the city to get around the stations. It took me what normally would have taken me probably 10 minutes on the train,
Mm.
took me an hour and a half on the
Yeah.
bus. And
Yeah,
it was,
crazy.
yeah. Luckily, I tied a jumper around my waist for after the run because I think if I hadn't have had something warm to put on, I would have been freezing sitting on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
bus.
We need to go back to talk about the Rogaine that we did because I just remembered
Oh,
we
did we not
haven't
speak
no
about it?
because it
Oh,
was the
okay.
day before the Rogaine and what happened, we were doing that podcast and I was like, oh, I'm just gotten over being sick. That
Mm.
night I got so
Yeah.
sick. And we woke up in the morning. I'm like, oh, God, I don't want to. I said, I'm like, if I wasn't doing the Rogaine, I wouldn't even run. And you're like,
Mm.
we don't have to go. And I'm like, I do. I need to do Rogaining into the nighttime. So I took some cold and flu tablets. We went off
We drove and we were planning on
doing a 12 hour.
doing the 12 hours, so we'd finish it around 11 o'clock at night and then sleep in the car that night and then drive home in the morning.
Yeah. So
That was the
anyway,
plan.
the cold and flu tablets, I couldn't feel any difference. I still felt like a bag of shit. And we got out and like I actually really enjoyed the Rogaine, but I literally could not run. Even running downhill, I'd be huffing and puffing and like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I couldn't breathe. Or I could barely run downhill. I couldn't run at all on the flat. We just walked the whole
Yeah,
thing,
pretty
didn't we?
much. Yeah.
And we ended up only doing 6 hours because I was like, and I had more cold and flu tablets at lunch and cold and flu tablets in the afternoon because that's what it says on the packet.
Yeah.
And I was like to Ron, I don't feel right. I couldn't even do any of the nav work. I was just following Ron because my brain, I was just, I was like a
Yeah.
zombie. And so we just called it. And because the thought of
For two
getting
reasons.
cold and
Yeah.
finishing it at the cold of night, sleeping in the cold car,
Yeah.
and then waking up in the morning, nowhere to get warm, nowhere to have a hot shower. I thought, I'm just going to get so sick,
Yeah.
like so, and I was so unwell.
Yeah.
So we pulled the pin.
Pulled the pin. We just did 6 hours, and then we had something to eat at the hash house
Yeah,
because, that
honestly, yeah, do a Rogaine. It's so good. There were so many people. It was so great to see so many young people. There were
there was
lots
lots
of
of
young
young,
people,
yeah,
young adults, teenagers, families, older people. It was such a diverse
yeah,
range of people. And
absolutely.
everyone was friendly and lovely. And then everyone hung around the hash house. We had pasta with some sort of vegetable soup. It was even parmesan cheese. How
Yeah.
fancy. Then you could get two sausages on bread, or there were veggie burgers for the vegetarians and vegans amongst us. And it was just
Yeah.
awesome. And
Yeah.
and I was really spewing because I was actually really enjoying it, except for the fact that I felt like I was going to die.
Yeah.
So there is another Rogaine on the 11th of October in Dunolly. I've never even heard of
Yeah.
Dunolly
No,
before.
I haven't heard of Dunley,
Yeah,
but apparently it's somewhere near Ballarat.
yeah. No,
So,
Bendigo, I thought it was.
no, it's Ballarat. Yeah, because you said it
Hmm.
was near Creswick.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. So, anyway, we'll figure that out
We'll figure that out.
when we need to.
Anyway, and it's so go. People honestly look up Victorian Rogaining and you should go. And it's like $45 each. And honestly, you get all that food, you get an amazing course. I mean, the amount of
Oh,
work that it
amazing.
must take, because what they have to do is they have to get the course setters out there to actually put the punches thingies, or the dibbers, because it's electronic timing. You've got to just dib it into your band on your wrist. And then to put them all out, then you've got vetters that go around and double check
Make
it.
sure they're in the right spot.
Yeah, then they've got to get people to collect them. And then, they've got to make the map. And so they've got to make sure it's 100%. Oh my God, the amount of work. And then a week later, they had a Zoom where we got on and they talked us through how did
Some
other
of
people's doing
the
the.
the better or the more experienced
Hmm.
road gainers basically told everyone how they approached it,
Yeah,
how they looked at the maps, what sort
it
of
was
yeah,
brilliant.
it was really educational, and
Yeah.
we actually learned quite a bit
Yeah, from just
from
attending
just
that
watching that.
Zoom. That was
Mm.
so good, that Zoom. And just like honestly, the whole event was fantastic.
Yeah.
And just a different way, like if you're a trail runner or ultra, just a different way to be in the bush because yes, you run on trails, but you also go off trail a lot.
Hmm.
And we don't get the opportunity to do that. And it was just really cool,
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly recommend it.
Yeah.
So that was that. So I was sick as a dog. So the next day we did not train
No.
because I was too sick. We went for a walk. That was it.
And
Um,
then 2 days later, I got sick.
yeah, and Ron and my son both got sick as
Uh,
dogs. I don't think quite as bad as, I don't
no,
know.
no.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, you two, oh,
Yeah.
the snot,
Oh God.
the
Yeah.
snot everywhere. It was
It was.
gross.
We're drowning in a sea of
Yeah,
snot.
yeah. I mean, I wasn't necessarily sicker than you, but because I did the 5 hour again, 6 hour again, I think I suffered more because,
Yeah.
and I said that to him, we should have just stayed at home. But I didn't know there was the Rogaine on the 11th of October.
Yeah.
That's a new thing. So now that they've added that, it's like I've got to go back and do that anyway because
Yeah.
I didn't really get the proper. experience that I was after of
Yep.
practicing my um compass work and all that
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Towards the end,
I was just
I was doing more of the,
I was just following you.
yeah,
And because originally I was like, no, I want it, I'll keep going, I'll keep pushing through. And then I realized I'm just following you. It's bloody,
yeah,
I'm not doing anything. It's literally stupid.
mm.
And I would have just slowed down even more because I'd run out of drugs.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, so that was that. And then, of course, Queensland the following weekend. And then I left on the Thursday
yep.
and I was meant to come home the Tuesday, but I missed Ron so much and
She
got homesick.
rang me on Sunday and said, "Can I come
I just
home
said, I want
early?"
to come home. I miss you. I said, I'm sorry for being pathetic.
No, she
And
said, "If I come home, if I can book a ticket tomorrow, can you come and get me from the airport?" Which I was going to do it on the Tuesday
Tuesday,
anyway, but
yeah.
yeah, so I just,
Yeah, so he
um,
came and picked me up on the Monday and I went home a day early and
yeah,
was so much happier because I was very sad and just
yeah.
wanted to be at home with Ron.
Mm.
So that's how much of a dork I am. Getting homesick at 55.
Uh,
And Ron's like, it's not pathetic to love somebody. And I'm like, oh, I'm soft.
yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah,
You know, it's always good to see you a day early.
yeah,
So,
yeah, that's right. So it was
yeah,
nice. And then this weekend, we had my belated birthday because,
yeah,
of course, I went to Queensland just sort of 2 days after my
yeah,
birthday, so we didn't get to do anything. And I wasn't, fussed about doing something, but Ron wanted to do something, so
yep,
we went down to Rye.
yeah.
We just got back this afternoon.
Yep. So we went down. We did a rundown on and around the
Two
two
bay.
bays
But to be fair, it was
course.
pretty shit because we've both been sick for so long. I
Yeah,
feel like I've been sick since the 50K. God, I cannot remember. One fourth.
wonderfuls. Yeah,
So that's been like nearly 2 months. I've just been under the weather, and then at the Rogaine, I got proper sick. I think that
yeah,
finally got it out of my system, but I'm still kind of getting better, 100%. And also, I just feel like I've lost fitness and strength, and because you know how when you've been sick, it just takes your body zapped.
yeah.
And you're the same
I'm the
because you've
same.
been
Yeah,
hardly training.
I've had my training has been
Abysmal.
abysmal. Like,
It makes
yeah,
mine look
I
good.
have one good week of training, and then I
You're
do
just doing the
one day.
quintessential roller coaster running that we advocate against.
Yeah, between getting sick and my knee issues that I've been having lately, I can't seem to string 2 weeks together.
No.
So I'm feeling really unfit at the moment.
But you were doing better than me on Friday, can I tell you? I was just like, I mean, it was mainly flat running, but my legs were sore. Like my legs were really sore. Mind you, on the Wednesday, I had done a 20K run with 700 meters climbing because I suddenly remembered next week we're doing Macedon 50K. I'm
Yes.
like, shit, better quickly do some training. And so then I did that. And then we went for a long run of 35Ks on Friday. So my legs were already
Yeah.
toast. Yeah, because my legs were hurting on that 20K and then they were hurting even. I was just like, it was pathetic.
Yeah. It
It
was a
was,
tough day out on Friday.
and it was because it's such a beautiful area. It was a pity, but it was like, it was a real mental strength run because, oh my God, it was
Yeah, by at 10 Ks in, we were going, you know,
10, 2, try 2.
but we were starting at first because we decided we were doing 35, but then, 10 Ks in, we're going, maybe we can cut it a bit short. If we do this, we go this way,
Because,
maybe we'll just do 30 instead.
but it ended up being
And
35.
ended up being 35 anyway by the
But
time
even
we
towards
got
the end,
there.
Ron's like, but if we go this way, we'll cut a kilometer off. And I'm like, we're not just cutting a kilometer off. That's pathetic. I am not doing that.
Uh,
I said, that would be cheating.
that would be cheating. Hey,
Do you like that segue?
yeah. What do
Because,
you mean by that? Exactly. What are you
well,
talking
before we
about
get into
cheating?
the meat and potatoes of our podcast, which is coaching won't make ultras any easier, and that's the point. Well, it won't make them easy. Not easy. Yeah.
Yeah, won't
Can
make
we
them
do that
easier.
again? I'll just edit that bit out.
Okay, so
Here's the podcast. Coaching won't make ultras easy, and that's the point.
yeah.
Okay, fuck. All right, but I wanted to talk because there's been some things happening in trail running that people will have heard about, and I've been listening to podcasts. It's a real ongoing topic, and we thought, well, let's get in on the ongoing topic, but also we wanted to chat about it, about doping. So recently, Joylene Chip, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Chip Genga, Chip,
Chipkino.
I don't know. Anyway, Joylene,
Joy Lane.
she's normally on
Uh,
Golden Trail. She normally does well in the Golden Trail series, and we love watching the Golden Trail series. But Kenyan athletes in the Golden Trail series have been done for
yeah.
busted for doing drugs before, right? And she actually raced at UTMB as well. She won the 50K, I believe. It
Hmm.
was the
I think
anyway.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was and she's been at Sierra Zinal and all that sort of stuff. And she's been handed a doping ban. Now, if you listen to Bad Boy Running, and to be fair, he's probably biased a bit because he is part of the Golden Trail series,
Yes.
right?
He's a media
Yeah, person for
person.
that.
But yep.
So obviously he's coming at from that lens of, he doesn't want to, he wants to try to make it not so bad because of Gong Trail. I don't
Yeah.
know, something along those lines,
Yeah.
I'm tipping. But what he was saying is that she was saying that it was a cortisone injection in her knee. She went to the pharmacist. He said it was okay. It wasn't, blah, blah, blah. And she got it because her knee had been hurting. Now, I didn't know personally that cortisone in your,
Is it is a steroid though? Isn't is
yeah,
it?
it's a
Yeah.
steroid,
Yeah.
but I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. I haven't actually thought about it, to
Yeah.
be honest. But because I mean, you think about that book we read about Andre Agassi. He was getting cortisone shots right
He
before
was in his
competition,
back. Yeah.
and in that he wasn't bad like that. Wasn't so? How come he wasn't allowed to do
Well,
that?
I mean, different sports have different um,
Rules?
rules as far as what's banned and what's not.
Do
So,
they though?
I
No, they don't. There's banned drugs for all sports. Like as I recall from my mountain biking days. It was just banned drugs, WADA,
well, I mean that.
maybe there's additional ones for each sport, but
Yeah, but
generally they're
that
the
was
same.
10 plus years ago. So maybe things have changed in those 10
I
years.
don't know. I don't
No,
know.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know either.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and that's probably why because I'd read that book and I thought, oh, it's just cortisone then, and
Mm,
if he's doing it, and
yeah.
and he wasn't just having the odd cortisone injection, he was having like 5 bajillion of them. I'm surprised his whole body hasn't just disintegrated. Because of course cortisone is not without its side effects. Like
Yeah.
it's not good for the body to have it. It weakens all your structural, your tendons and your ligaments and everything. So sorry, I'm faffing. So it's not good to have.
Yeah.
Anyway, what they were also saying in this bad boy running is that it's different in Kenya and across much of East Africa too, because when we think doping in running or cycling, we either think like cycling Tour de France or we think of with running the Eastern Bloc, Russian and East Germany, and how they used to, it was really state systems were in place to design, administer, and cover up doping, right?
Mm,
Complete with research labs, doctors, masking agents, and all that sort of stuff. And many athletes sometimes didn't even know that that's what they were being given,
yeah.
right?
They thought half the time, from what I've read, they thought they were getting
Vitamins
vitamins.
and that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. And they spoke on Bad Boy Running about how some athlete, his mother was giving it to him and he didn't realize. Like, I mean, can you imagine doing
Yeah.
that? Fuck. Like, I'm sorry. Anyway, so that's what we think of, and we instantly think, oh, evil drug dopers. But in Kenya, it's a little bit different, and I'm absolutely not excusing her, at
Yeah.
all, because to be fair, you need to be educated. And I know when I was in cycling and I was getting drug tested all the time at races and that sort of stuff. Before I took anything, like those cold and flu tablets, actually, I think they would have been fine, those ones I had. But before I took anything back in the day, I used to go on and check the WADA list just
Yeah.
to make sure. And some things were. And when I was getting drug tested back in the day, caffeine was a banned drug at a certain level. So you had to be so careful not to take too much caffeine. I mean, I'd be fucked now in ultra running.
Oh
So
God.
thank God. Like Jesus. If you're getting through the night, like what would you do without caffeine?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so I used to have to be super duper careful because I was also on the program where they would come and knock on your door, at random times. You had to let them know every week where you were going to be every single day so that they could
Yeah.
come to your work or come whatever. Right? It was a whole, that's why when I got into running, I was so surprised that there was like literally nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? I was so used to, you finish a mountain bike race and there's someone standing there going, come with me to the toilets. No, you got to wee in this cup. And, the last thing you feel like doing after you just pushed yourself on a mountain bike is going for a
Yeah.
wee.
Yeah.
Generally dehydrated. So it sometimes was 2 hours later. Anyway, So basically what we're saying is that it's different in Kenya. There's no WADA accredited blood lab in the country. Most anti-doping there relies on urine tests, which, like I said, like what I used to do, but that doesn't catch drugs like EPO or blood transfusions, obviously.
Mhm.
Athletes often train in remote mountain areas, there's, it's
Yeah,
different.
yeah, that's right. And also, um, the between now, what's happening now and what happened back in the
80?
80s and 70s and 80s,
Mm,
is the reasons behind it are completely
mm,
different. I mean, when someone like us here in Australia, when you become a professional athlete, for running as a professional runner, you're basically taking a vow of poverty
mm.
because there's not a lot of money to be made in
No,
running.
no.
In fact, in Australia, there's pretty much nothing
I
to be
mean, you
made.
might get sponsorship, like I
Yeah.
had sponsorship, but that doesn't
Yeah.
pay the mortgage.
Whereas for people in East Africa, whether it's Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia, um, they can get rich from
That's right.
running. That,
That's right.
especially international
Mm,
running. It's actually a step up in their lifestyle.
yeah,
So there's a lot more incentive.
yeah,
Um, they're actually, they can be life changing for
yeah.
them if
That's right.
they're
Yeah.
a successful runner.
Yeah. So, I mean, once again, we're not excusing, we're just giving the reasons
Yeah,
behind why they might be more inclined to do it. I think with Joylene, I don't know. Maybe she's being honest. I truly don't know. I
yeah,
truly don't know. All I know is she is a single mum, with two young kids, and no, she's got no income. So
yeah.
I feel bad for her, but yeah, I mean, we have to drug test and we have
That's
to,
right. And
like,
it has to be the whole concept of I didn't realize I
yeah,
was doing it. No one told me, or he told me this. I didn't realize it was that.
mm,
The only way you can police this sort of thing is say that the athlete is the one is wholly responsible,
yeah.
because otherwise everyone's first response is I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Oh, it was in the something that I ate, or
Yeah.
what was in there? One footballer who said his mum gave him something and it had something in it, or
Well,
some crock
that
of
was
shit.
the famous Shane Warne drug
Oh, that's
scandal.
it. Yeah,
His mum got, or it was his mum
I
or
thought it was his
his
mum.
grandma.
Oh, I
Like
don't
it
know.
was someone like that gave him a cold and flu tablet, or no, it was a weight loss pill. Gave him a weight loss pill,
No, a weight loss pill would have something in
and
it.
whatever was in it,
Oh,
made him
Christ. Oh, yeah, what a crock shit.
fail.
Well, and I mean, even Andre Agassi got done for drug, remember? And he
Yeah,
pretended that it was, and he writes in his book that he
yeah,
lied,
yeah,
So, I mean, like,
yeah.
anyway. Anyway, but of course, cheating isn't just drugs, right?
No, that's right.
There's
It,
been a lot of
yeah,
talk of people cutting courses in races,
yeah,
in some of these timed events. You've heard about that. There was some guy who hid in the toilets once.
yeah,
Remember that
yeah.
one a few years ago? Um, there's been a bit of chat in the amongst Barclay people about those sort of races where that sort of things happened.
Hmm.
And it's possible. Um, I remember doing a race once and I passed this female, and about 5, 10 kilometers later, I passed her again, which was a bit strange. But
Yeah.
yes, anyway. And, so, and at that same race, the woman who won was seen going the wrong way in the course, and my friend who saw her doing it yelled out to her and told her, but
Mhm.
yeah. So anyway, but she, so I mean, it happens,
Yeah.
and it happens even in just simple bloody not important
Yeah,
races.
yeah, that's right.
So
There doesn't necessarily have to be a financial incentive.
yeah,
Sometimes it can be the prestige.
yeah,
Um, you know, there's always, like you hinted on, there's always been talk within the Barclay about people not cheating, but they acknowledge that every now and then one sneaks under
yeah,
the
maybe
radar.
maybe some, but they don't
They
know.
don't
They
know,
don't
but
know.
they kind of
May
almost assume that something's going to happen,
Well,
but they
yeah,
can't.
I don't know if they assume, but yeah, it's possible. It's
Yeah,
definitely possible
yeah,
to do, and so they think that maybe it has. I mean,
yeah.
I mean. it's possible. And with the Barclay especially, it's really the honor
It
system,
is to yeah,
you
totally.
know, and
Yeah.
when he says no technology, nobody's checking your bags, no one's checking your stuff. It's the
Yeah.
honor system. But it's the same that he doesn't tell you what mandatory kit to take, but everyone manages to take the right kit and
Yeah.
do all the right things. And I would like to think that people at Barclay, wouldn't do anything, but I
Yeah.
don't know. And
Yeah.
that's why we have to be so careful about who gets in.
Yeah.
But when you're just,
But what you've just said also raises another, probably the most common form of cheating is in Australia, where we do love our mandatory equipment,
yes, that's true. Yeah.
is people not carrying their
And
mandatory
and I
equipment.
did a race and it was so funny because it was the guy. He was the guy checking the mandatory kit the day before the race. Then I saw him during the race and I'm like, oh my God, this mandatory kit's so heavy. And he goes, that's why I'm not carrying mine. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I was so shitty because it's like I'm carrying 5 kilos of mandatory kit that you checked to make sure I had, and you're not carrying it because you didn't want to carry something heavy. And
Yeah.
I was really upset about
Yeah.
that, because that's cheating. It should be an even playing field. We
That's
all
right.
carry the same shit,
Whether, whether you whether you agree with the validity of all the mandatory
And
kit,
I don't
the
necessarily.
fact is,
It's the rules.
if it's the rules, so if everyone's, if one person's required to carry it,
Yeah.
everyone's
Yeah.
required to carry it.
I mean, it's unfortunate that some of the wealthier runners can get the really good quality lightweight
Lightweight
stuff
stuff.
because you see like someone like Killian, he's carrying all the mandatory kit, but it's about the size of a postage
Yeah.
stamp
Yeah.
compared to everyone else's. Like if I had that mandatory kit, it would be 20 kilos and I'd be needing
Yeah.
a Sherpa. But he's got sponsors and good on him, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, I personally can't afford to buy that
Yeah.
super lightweight stuff. So anyway,
Yeah.
but also he probably moves faster and probably doesn't need the
Yeah.
thicker stuff like
Yeah,
like
that's right.
me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah.
anyway, what it is we need to, like I said, when I first got into running, I was super surprised that there was no drug testing, nothing, and not even any talk about it, nothing. And it just seemed unusual to me, coming from mountain biking, where it was so like even just average mountain bike races, there'd be drug testing. I'm not just talking at the national champs. I'm talking any race. They'd just rock up. And like I said, I was on the list where they would come to, they never ended up doing it because I ended up getting pregnant and
Mm.
obviously not racing. But and I wasn't like, I wasn't that good. I mean,
Yeah.
I was good as in, I did well, but not because I was actually talented, only because there weren't maybe a lot of females. Um, so, but I was on that list that they could, and I had to
Mm.
tell them every week where I was going to be, and I would double, triple check every drug that I took, and even vitamins I would sometimes double check just to be sure, because any supplement,
Yeah.
and I had to be so careful about supplements that I bought to make sure there was no banned substances in it. And like I said, the
Mm.
caffeine, like you had to be careful.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I don't know what the answer is because I think as more money is going into trail and ultra running, money always brings out
Yeah.
this sort of thing
It
because,
does.
and in some respects, I get it,
Yeah.
because we all could do with a bit more money.
Yeah.
So yeah, but if ultras teaches anything, it's that the hard way is the only way worth doing,
Yeah.
right? And that's what we're going to talk about
Oh,
now.
yes.
Another
Another great
amazing
segue.
segue.
Yeah.
So, Ron, do you ever get asked if coaching guarantees you a PB?
Yes, I do. And it does. It guarantees you a PB, but not because you're being coached,
Why then?
because you actually have to do the work that the coach gives you.
That's right. That's the caveat. You just because you've gotten coaching doesn't suddenly mean that you're going to ace all your races.
No.
You still have to do the work. And even
Yeah.
then, you might not ace it because, the human body is a fickle
Yeah.
thing. And sometimes, like me, waking up the morning of the road game sick as a dog,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
God, thought I was fine the day before. I was rabbiting on how much better I was and how I
Yeah.
wasn't sick anymore. And look at me, the next day I was the
No.
sickest I've been in a very long time since bloody before Barclay.
Yeah.
right? So we're going to be talking about common misconceptions about coaching and about ultra running, all right?
Yep.
So coaching is guidance, structure, and accountability. It's not the magic pill.
No,
It's
it's
not
not the
blood
magic.
doping.
No,
It's not
it's not.
EPO. Athletes still have to show up consistently, follow the plan, and communicate. That's what I'm
Yeah,
big on. Because, you know, data tells me one thing, well, it tells me one itty bitty thing, but it's the communication with the athlete that tells me everything else.
yeah,
Honestly, because seeing that someone's, oh, they've hit the pace of that interval, but it doesn't tell me whether that was a struggle street hitting the pace or whether that was
yeah,
too easy for them or if there was a headwind or an uphill. It just doesn't tell me anything.
yeah.
It just
No.
tells me they hit the pace, but it doesn't give me any context.
Hmm.
So communication is
Yep.
huge.
Yep. And I mean, it's like having a GPS in your car. You put the GPS, coordinates into your GPS unit, and you still actually have to drive the car to
Mm.
get there.
Yeah, funnily.
It just doesn't
No
magically make,
self-driving cars
no, it
yet.
doesn't make you magically appear at that
Yeah.
spot.
So it's exactly like that. It's having the map, but you still have to do the work and get there.
Yeah.
Okay. And as coaches, we can't do the training for you. We can't motivate you to get up at 5 a.m. We can give you tips
Yeah.
and accountability and encourage you, but we can't actually be the ones behind you going, wake up, get up, come on. We literally can't.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not the ones setting your alarm for you and then
Mm.
pushing you out of bed
Yeah,
when the alarm
it's
goes
it's
off.
hard enough dragging our sad asses
Yeah.
out of bed, to be fair. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, oh, the older I get, the harder and harder I'm finding it, Ron. I am really finding these. And 5:10, that's a sleeping compared to what I used to do. When
Yeah.
I was working full time with kids, I was getting up at 3:30 regularly.
Forget that.
I don't know how I did it. And not getting to bed till 10:30 because, you get home from work and you got to do everything a stay-at-home mum does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how. Anyway, um, so essentially a coach is there to give you the map.
Yep.
You still have to walk the map.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
All right. So that's the myth about coaching. Now, what about, when you have been coaching someone and they sort of say to you, but it's not getting any easier. When does it get easy?
It doesn't get easy. That's the point. That's why we do ultras because they're tough.
Yeah.
If they were easy, we'd probably find something else to do
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
because
exactly.
they're designed to be a challenge. They're designed to hurt.
Yeah,
They're designed to make you dig deep.
that's right. And it may not get easier, but you might get faster.
Yeah,
You might get better at technical terrain. You might get better at pushing yourself up a hill. You might get better at pacing yourself properly.
yeah, and that's the
You
thing.
might become more resilient when things go wrong. You might improve your mindset from doing those painful sessions. So you will get better, but it won't
If
ever get
if you
easier.
find them getting easier, then you're probably
You're
not
not pushing hard enough.
pushing
Yeah,
hard
you're
enough, and
right.
that's when you take the next step and push that bit harder
Yeah,
because you know if the whole point of it getting easier is that's the cue to work harder.
yeah, that's right. And I mean, I've done that where, I've wanted to like, oh, I just wish these hills would get easier. But essentially they never get easier
Mm.
because I just keep pushing harder up. But once it
Yeah.
starts to get easier, you still push to that same level,
Hmm.
So it doesn't feel easier, but it actually is because you're getting
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
you know.
When you were training for your sub 3 hour marathon,
Ugh,
you put in a lot of work. You took yourself to the well in training constantly. It was hard. So of course, all that made the marathon really easy, didn't
oh yeah, totally. It was horrific.
it?
It was horrible. It made childbirth look pain-free. It was fucking
So all
awful.
that hard training you put in
Oh
didn't
my,
actually make the race easier.
no.
It just prepared you
I
for
don't even
the
think it prepared me
for
because,
the
like,
pain and
yes,
the
seriously, it didn't prepare me for the pain for 2 hours and 58 minutes of pain.
yeah.
Oh my God, it was horrible. It was awful. It was,
Yeah.
can I say it again? Yeah, so no, it didn't get any easier. Um, and in fact, I think some of my other marathons that I did that were slower, were way easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when I did some, 3:15 or something like that. Even 3:01s that I didn't feel as hard as that 2:58. That 2:58 felt so hard. Like I said, I didn't do another marathon for 10 years. I didn't do another road marathon for 10 years because it was so, so hard.
Yeah, but we've spoken about this more in conjunction with your half marathon PB.
Mm,
But 3 minutes, what you were saying, the 3:01s as opposed to the 2:58s.
yeah.
3 minutes doesn't seem like a long time.
But oh
But
my God, that's a
when
long
you're trying
time.
to improve your PB in a marathon by 3 minutes, when it's already, you
Yeah.
know,
Well, actually, I think I did get a 3 hour bang on. I was
yeah.
that was a very disappointing moment. I went 3:01 3. I thought,
Yeah, so that cutting
but
it
yeah, the
back by
two,
that,
yeah,
that's a lot of work and hard work to even drop it by that small amount.
yeah. Oh my God, it was just horrible.
Yeah,
The training was horrible. And that was another reason why I didn't want to do another marathon because the training was so brutal that I had to
yeah,
do. And I don't think it necessarily has to always be that brutal, but you do have to push yourself because you won't be prepared for how it feels if you haven't done it in training.
yeah,
Now, obviously, ultras are not the same intensity of pain as a 5K. I mean, 5Ks. I once did a 5K time trial by myself. That was so painful. I collapsed at the end, and a car pulled over, and the guy got out and like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Oh," right? Because I used to be able to push myself that
yeah,
hard in train. But the pain of a 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon is really intense, whereas the pain of an ultra is a slow drip.
yeah,
You can start off feeling good and woo, I feel great and yay. And then 10 hours later, you feel shit, but then you
yeah,
feel shit for 10 hours.
yeah, yeah.
But it's still not that high intensity pain. That high intensity pain, especially when if I just back off, if I
Hmm.
just back off,
Yeah,
this pain will go away.
yeah,
In ultras, it's if I just stop, the pain will go
yeah.
away. Because a lot of the time when you're in that much pain, you can't back off. You can't go any slower
No,
sometimes.
no, no, that's right.
But like honestly, because I was gunning for a faster time, I was aiming originally, hoping to do around 2:50. That was like, I don't even know what pace that was. I was, but I mean, to be fair, I think there were a lot of training mistakes made and those sorts of things. And
Yeah, back then you didn't have the knowledge,
no, no.
and you were being coached by someone else,
And look,
and
and once again, he was awesome, and but he was basing it obviously on what he'd done as
yeah,
well. So,
yeah,
and I'm not casting aspersions at all because he taught me so much.
yeah,
I learned so much about running from him, and I learned about pushing myself hard because I'd never really pushed myself hard in training before,
mhm,
and I learned how to push myself hard, and I learned how to, I learned so much from him, but I don't think it was necessarily 100% right for me,
yeah,
right? But
hmm,
that's fine. Live and learn. And I
yeah,
know now what kind of training suits me better. And also, well, these days I couldn't be asked pushing myself that hard. I just couldn't. I just
yeah,
can't. I can't. Um, and that was a season for that. And, you know,
yeah.
uh, yeah. So where were we? I'm still,
I mean, the other thing, we once again, social media is great at this, is making it like you see things on social media, particularly the top runners, and they make it look easy.
yeah,
And because they only show you, well, not always, but quite often they only show you the happy moments.
yeah, the curated,
Yes. They
and
don't they
it's,
don't show you the blood, sweat, and tears that they suffered through training,
mm.
and quite often they don't show you the blood, sweat, and tears they showed you through the race.
Yeah, that's right. And look, we're here to show you that.
Yeah, that's right.
Whenever you see our running videos, when I make them,
You'll
there'll be a lot,
you'll see plenty of blood,
and
plenty
a
of
lot of,
sweat, and a lot of tears.
yes, and a lot of whinging. I just wish you'd stop whinging, Ron. We all know who the whinger is here when it comes to running.
Yeah, so don't fall into that social media trap
Yeah.
of someone
And
says this should be easy.
just the top runners, even just everyday runners, you see they put out all these reels and to be fair, I just put a reel out with a little snippet of our run on at Ryan, all that sort of stuff, and it makes it look like we had a great time, when in reality that run was shit.
Once again, we left out all the whinging.
But we have kept it for the longer version, which I will make, hopefully. So Look, because yeah, you don't want to make everyone miserable, but
Mm.
and to be fair, this was like a 5 second snippet,
Yeah.
so really,
Mm.
that wasn't going to be able to show anything anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, you don't train to make it easy. You train so you can handle the hard better.
Yep.
That's all it is, and that's what we said, or I said, or one of us said, or I said it even during this. It was a
Yeah.
mental strength run, wasn't
Yeah.
it? You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
because what
Yeah.
doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
It does. Yeah.
you
That's
know
right.
and so basically what you need to do is build consistency, and this is what and this comes back to coaching and training together, because like you can't expect, like we said, to get a coach and magically ultras are easy and that, because they never are easy.
No.
We train you to be ready for it, but you've still got to do the freaking
Yeah.
training.
Yeah.
Like, it's all well and good to have a plan, but if there's always I was sick, or I mean, I get it when
The
you're
weather
sick,
wasn't great.
the weather was shit, this happened, I did, and like there's so many excuses possible. Like, I know, I get it. It's really hard. I every day is a hardship for me to drag myself out the door. Like,
Mm.
it really is hard. It's not easy. And you come home from work and you sit down in the chair just there behind it.
And behind us, yep.
Well, I'm working here on the computer, and I'm like, "What are you doing today?" And he's like, "Oh." And I know he couldn't be asked running, but he gets up and he does it.
Yep, I laced my shoes up and
And I
I
pushed you
forced,
out the
yes,
door.
I forced myself to walk
Yeah,
out that
it
door.
does. And you always feel better for it,
Yeah,
like 90% of the
yeah,
time.
yeah. Sometimes the first K is pretty tough.
To
But
be fair, some of the runs, while we've both been unwell, some of the
yeah,
runs you've come back and you said, no, that was just you.
yeah, there was somewhere I said no, my legs were so heavy and they only got heavier.
Yeah. So just whatever it is we've had, it's
Yeah,
just been, and I know other people have had it too, but we've tried to keep some consistency so we're
yeah,
not beginning from scratch.
yeah, yeah.
But it hasn't been easy.
No,
And, but one, you've got to still have that consistency, and you've got to show up week after
yeah.
week for coaching to work, for training to work. And once again, not to make it easy, but to make you prepared. You've
That's
got to,
that
yeah,
is that is the number one thing. I say to prospective or clients when they first come on is the first thing we're going to work on
yeah.
is consistency. You know,
Because
a
we
lot of
often look at athletes when they come on and we look at their Strava,
yeah,
there's not a lot of
there's not
consistency.
a lot of consistency. They'll do a week's worth of running and there'll be nothing for a week or several days, and then they'll do another block, and then there's nothing again. And so the thing that creates good running is regular running. So um,
What?
that was a fairly poorly hidden yawn, that one.
Well, it was hidden to the
It was
people who were
hidden
listening
to the
on
listeners,
the podcast.
not hidden to the people watching on YouTube.
I'm really tired. It was a tiring
It's
weekend.
been a tiring weekend. We're both on the drive home. It was a very quiet, very
That's because I
well,
was asleep.
you slept most of the way home. So did I, but that's all
Yeah, we made it. That was
right.
because it was a self-driving
Yeah,
car.
that's right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and it's 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon, and I'm
Yeah.
far right. I'm ready for a nana nap. Oh my
Uh,
God.
so yeah, so
Anyway,
consistency is the key. Everything starts with consistency.
that's it. And we're trying as coaches to create confidence so that you know that you're prepared.
Mhm.
And so that we can shift the baseline so that what used to break you now actually becomes manageable.
Yeah.
And building that consistency, and then they actually become, like, we talk about, the kind of person you just run.
Yeah.
Like, even if you couldn't be asked, which 9 times out of 10 I couldn't be asked,
Yeah.
but I'm a runner, and what I do is I run,
Yeah.
right? So I just get out and do it. and,
Yeah.
and it's not, I might procrastinate a scroll or procrastinate a coffee or whatever, but ultimately I will always get out for the run. It's not oh, will I, won't I? I know I'm going to get out for a
Yeah.
run. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
It just is, right?
Yeah.
So there are some common athlete mindset traps, Ron. I'm asking him to scroll down. Um, and one is that thinking, well, one missed session ruins the whole plan. It's like when you eat one Tim Tam and you go, fuck it, and I'm going to just eat the
I'm
whole
just going to eat
packet.
the whole thing. Yeah. I've ruined
Actually,
it.
it's Cadbury's, their mixed tray. I used to have one and then go, fuck it. I'd even eat the Turkish Delight and the meat
Oh,
ones. I didn't care. Oh my God, I've regularly I used to sit there and eat an entire Cadbury's box. I used to be terrible. Um, so one missed session, you don't have to go, well, that's it. Throw in the whole week. Fuck it. I'm not doing anything for the rest of the week. No, just move on.
Yeah,
And the reason why people get funny about a missed session is then they feel like they've got to make it up the next day.
yeah,
No, no.
yeah,
Just it's in the past. That run was meant to be today. It hasn't been done. Move on till
yeah.
tomorrow.
That's
Just
right.
keep going.
You don't need to run a double session tomorrow
No.
because you missed the
Because
session
then
today.
that puts you off and you're
That
like, oh, I don't want to run a double. Oh. And so then you don't do that. And then it's like, oh, I'm so far behind now. I can't do a trip. Oh, and
yeah,
So just know, just you missed a day. Life will go on. Keep going.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And what's another common mindset trap?
Mistaking comfort for progress. So if the training feels easy, it might not be effective. That's what we constantly say is you have to keep easy days in your program because
Mm.
that's when the magic happens. That's
And
that's
that's
when
when all
you're
the
all the
the mitochondria is built and all that sort of stuff. And you know what? Running doesn't have to be painful all the time.
yeah.
Like it literally doesn't.
It's a hobby. It's our
Yeah.
hobby,
It's meant to be fun
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
right. No one wants a hobby that makes you completely miserable. So,
Although to be fair, it has been pretty miserable these
so
last few weeks.
um, the easy runs are when you go out and you smell the roses.
Yeah. And you know what? Even a quality session like the warm up and the cool down should be easy.
Yeah.
Like people racing their warm up and cool down, no, just that should be easy and enjoyable too.
Hmm.
Also, you can't expect constant improvements. Like, there's always going to be a setback. You'll get a niggle or there'll be something come up at work or you have a sick kid and you can't get any sleep, pardon me, so you can't train. Things happen, life happens. And also, you can't just constantly keep improving forever. Like, it's a
Yeah.
human body. There is a limit to
Yeah.
improvements,
Hmm.
right? Which is why, like, for me, I can't get any faster. I've had my 258.
Yeah.
I ain't getting faster than that. And that was 20 years ago. And I can tell you right now, even if I did that exact same training, there is no way in hell I
Yeah.
could run that time again.
Yeah.
So, you've got to find different things. Like for me, it's, doing longer and longer runs, that sort of stuff. You can't expect, and people want to have constant improvements, which is why they end up racing all their runs.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen. You're just going to burn out. And also, it'll make you hate, not love running because it's like, well, what happens once the improvement stopped? Like if I'd given up running once the improvement stopped, you
Yeah. Well,
know,
that's it. And that's what, the difference between having a running hobby for 20 years as opposed to running for 5 years and then giving
yeah,
it up.
yeah, and going, yeah, and then burning out
Yeah.
and just. So, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
don't look for quick fixes, look for steady
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah. Anyone that tells you they've got a hack to, make you go from doing a half marathon to 100 Ks in a month,
Yeah, or three
um,
months even. Even
yeah,
3 months, that's too fat.
is probably lying.
Yeah, probably, definitely. Like certainly for me, I did marathons for longer than I wanted to, simply because my ex-husband didn't want me to get into ultras because he knew that would mean I'd spend less
A
time
lot
going
more
to the
you
kitchen
time.
sink.
A
Hey?
lot more you time.
Yeah, that's right. And we can't have that. But even so, I still think especially when you're younger, you should really utilize your speed and
Mm.
get the best out of your speed that will then propel you forward in ultras. If you're in your 30s, you don't need to get really good at the 5K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon. And then when
Yeah.
you've really perfected those, not just done one
Yeah.
and tick that off your bucket list, then, work on perfecting the 50K, work on perfecting the 100, like,
And
and when
that's
I say perfecting, I mean for you.
yeah,
You
and
know,
that's how you get longevity in the
yeah,
sport,
yeah, yeah.
So many people have gone, oh yeah, I ran my first, miler 6 weeks after sorry, 6 months after I started running.
Yeah,
And then that's it, they're gone.
yeah, that's right.
They,
And
they,
they go,
they
it's
either,
miserable and horrible.
yeah,
It was,
they,
they are hard, but it shouldn't be that miserable that it puts you off running.
that's right. They either wreck their body and they
Mm.
can't physically do it anymore, or it was so miserable that they wouldn't want to do it again.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, so,
yeah,
there's no shortcuts. Grind is the key,
yeah, yeah,
and that's just the way it is.
yeah. And consistency just, helps you. in longevity within the sport. It's just, you know, it helps. It won't eliminate injuries. It won't eliminate niggles. Certainly, as you get older,
Mm,
there's not a lot you can do to stop that because the body is the body.
yeah,
Especially for a sport like running where it's very repetitive,
yeah.
um, that encourages niggles, which is why, recovery and, you know,
Cross training of strength work and that.
strength work and stretching or
You feel like you do
mobilization,
it.
that becomes so important because,
It is.
you know,
And you do the
it
strength work and you
yeah,
do stretch when you're feeling a niggle
yeah,
come on,
that's
to be
right.
fair.
Yeah, I tend to wait until things start to let me know things are happening before I
Yeah.
actually work on them.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the more consistency you have, the longer you'll be able to keep
Yeah.
doing what you're doing.
And surely we all love running and like we want to be as consistent as possible and
Yeah,
we want to stay in this sport for as long as possible. Well, I hope so anyway,
yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So coaching isn't a guarantee, it's a partnership. And basically, ultras will never be easy, but that's what makes them so goddamn rewarding.
yeah,
Like, in the moment they're tough. And people have asked me that so many times, what's the toughest ultra you've ever done? And like I always say, the toughest ultra I've ever done is the one I'm currently doing because in the moment it feels like the toughest thing ever. But the feeling of crossing that finish line and that feeling of accomplishment and yeah, I freaking did that,
yeah,
that kind of feeling. Like that's awesome. And the only way you get it is by going through the suffering,
yeah.
I'm afraid.
Yeah. Um, and when it gets hard, this once again, this is all about mental strength work as well as the physical stuff. When it gets hard, that's not you failing to do
Mm,
it.
no.
That's the sport. This
Mm,
is a tough sport.
yeah.
We pride ourselves on our achievements because we know that they're tough.
Yeah.
So expect that it's going to be tough. It's not because you haven't worked hard enough. It's not because, or it shouldn't be, that you haven't worked hard enough. It's not because you've done something wrong. It's tough. That's
Yeah.
why we do
Niggles
it.
are tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why we
basically.
do it.
Yeah. And to be fair, all racing is tough. Like I said, a 5K
Hmm.
is if you race it, like
Yeah,
really race it, it is freaking tough.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So it's not so much the distance, it's running.
yeah,
Running is hard. Like we say, like the common saying is that, our sport is other sports punishment.
yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, seriously, it wouldn't be a punishment if it was felt beautiful.
yeah,
It's because running's hard. That's why it's other sports punishments.
yeah,
So, don't chase easy, chase prepared.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
rightio, what we want
Well,
you to do is we want you to subscribe to the pod, whether and on YouTube if you don't mind,
yeah.
because when I eventually do put out all these videos, you're going to miss out.
Oh, I know.
And we are going to be doing the Prosecco Marathon soon. I've been in talks with Nikki,
Hmm.
and it's happening, but she's just got to do some 6-day event in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's
Whatevs.
right. Whatever.
Soft.
Yeah, it's all about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, we're whinging about 135K
I
range.
know.
She's going to be doing like 100K a day.
100K over 6 days.
Oh, good Lord.
Now that
Oh,
is consistently tough.
yeah.
You
And
know,
I've got a
you
couple
want
of athletes going as
yeah,
well. So, good luck to them. And
yeah,
they're going to go
yeah.
awesome, Sabina and Greg. So,
There's no way you can make that easy.
no, it's just not. But, in the scheme of life, even 6 days is not much.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
scheme of a whole life. And that's what I often do when I'm in pain in an ultra is I think in the scheme of my entire life, this is only one teeny itty bitty bit of it,
yeah.
right? So
Mm.
yeah, so subscribe to the pod, share it, share this, send them it. Or, also, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what I was going to say because I'm so
What,
tired.
what, what can you tell me about group coaching?
Well, we did speak about it last time, but let's speak about it
Yeah,
again, shall we?
absolutely.
If you've got a bunch of you training for two bays, for UTA, for, I don't know,
UTK.
UTK next year, because
Hmm.
it's starting to get a bit late for UTK this year to
Right.
get coaching, probably. Although, yeah, as long as you've got a base, maybe.
Hmm.
Anyway, whatevs. Get a group together if you're both all training for the same thing, even if it's only two of you, and group coaching is a cheaper way of getting personalized one-on-one coaching, right? So
Mhm.
get on it. Now, also, I have started making hypnosis and subliminal tracks for runners. I've just done some subliminals for being a fast runner. I'm going to do, hypnosis tracks for, pre-race nerves, those sorts of things, and subliminals for that too. And believe you me, I've used them and it helps immensely. And I am a certified hypnotist. I am actually a certified hypnotist. So I'm not just Isabel just going, I'm just going to do a hypnosis and
Yeah.
whatever. No, I'm actually certified because I don't believe in doing things unless I'm certified. So I'm a certified hypnotist. So I've got the qualifications. So just shoot me an email, Isabel at peakendurancecoaching.com.au, and tell me which ones, what you would like. I'll even create one specific for you, a bespoke hypnotic
Yep.
track.
And believe it or not, hypnosis is not about making you act like a chicken.
No, no,
Uh,
it's not.
which is what
Yeah,
I remember seeing them on Hey Hey It's Saturday, and that's all they did, made
yes,
them
that's right.
bark like a dog or act like a chicken.
Thought you were
But
going to say
apparently
bark like
that's
a
not
chicken.
it.
No, no, hypnosis actually works incredibly well. And I personally find subliminals work incredibly well. I'm always listening to subliminals of different varieties. And that's the thing. And with subliminals, though, you want to make sure that you get them from a reputable place because some of these ones you get for free, you don't actually know what they're saying because they've sometimes found that sometimes they'll put horrible things in there. So, and subliminal suggestions are quite powerful. So you want to make sure you're getting it from a reputable source. Me.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know anyone else who does running subliminals. I've been
Mm.
making them for myself because
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else well enough to like I don't know anyone who does running ones, and I certainly wouldn't just get anything off YouTube or something because I just don't know,
Yeah.
none, the free ones. So I've purchased other subliminals on other topics of people that I
Yeah.
know are reputable, but So anyway,
Mm.
I could waffle forever when I'm tired and it literally makes no sense. So anyway, I am going to make more specific ones and I'll put them on the shop, but it's not up yet. So if you do want one, just email me. But otherwise, it will be up in the next week or two with some more like that.
Hmm.
And like also, it's interesting. We were doing some videoing on Thursday. Yes, Thursday.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
also, this is what I'm talking about with coaching. Like I always go the extra mile for my
Hmm.
athletes. Some of my athletes, they've come to me, with niggles already, or, like I say, getting older and so I'm creating actual you know, whole units on like plantar fasciitis and that sort of stuff
Yeah.
I've done videos with all the exercises and all the different things that they're to do, stretches, mobilization, strengthening exercises, all for specific injuries.
Yeah.
I'm doing one for plantar fasciitis, ilio ITB syndrome, runner's knee, and I'm going to start doing a whole bunch more.
Hmm.
And that's only available to my
Yeah.
athletes, right? So, when you get peak endurance coaching, you get the
You
top
don't
tier
you
coaching.
you don't just get told run on Thursday, run on Friday, have a rest day.
No.
It's way more than that.
And if you're struggling with something, I will do we will do whatever is in our power to help you.
Hmm.
And if that means instead of us going to the gym, we stayed home and we did videoing of all these
Yeah.
exercises, right? So honestly, going the extra mile, that is peak endurance
Yep.
coaching.
Absolutely.
So,
Come ride with us.
come what?
Come and ride with us.
Ride,
Yeah.
but we're runners. I don't get it.
Because we go the extra mile. So come with us, is what
Okay.
I'm saying. Come with us, we'll go the extra mile. That didn't,
That was
uh,
shit. Right, but we're runners. Ron, come run with us. That's what you should have
so
said.
come run with us.
Oh, we're so smooth, aren't we? I'll
And
edit it out, okay? And
okay.
I'll change, I'll make it sound like you said run,
Okay. Thank you.
okay? All righty. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Anyway, so
No, you actually edited this.
I know. I just, and the way I feel now, there's no editing
Uh,
going on. I'm sorry. It ain't going to happen. So yeah, share the pod, give us any ideas. Although I've got the next three topics lined up. I just
yeah.
can't remember what they are. All right, we'll do the next one because I'll choose one out of the three. 10 things smart runners don't do.
Yeah. Don't do.
Don't do. All
Yes.
right.
Yep.
And I know for one thing, they don't expect racing to be easy.
No, that's all right.
That's not one of them, by the way. I just made that
Yeah.
up
Oh,
then.
so 11
11
things.
things. That's real catchy. Oh, for the love of God. All righty.
Yes,
So we
let's
will
get
be,
out of here.
yeah, we'll be recording on Friday next
Yeah,
week. Because, yeah, and we've got Macedon. If you go to
Macedon.
Macedon,
Yes,
say hello.
yeah, Macedon 50 will be there.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yes, we're not confident it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, it'll be
We're
fun. Well,
Well, it'll be fun in that we're not racing it
yeah, we're going to.
for for any we're not for any times or
Yeah, like
anything
I
like that.
literally have no clue.
We're
But
doing
we
it
we just
because
haven't done anything
yeah.
long and hilly.
Um,
I just feel so
I mean,
underprepared.
yeah, we did the 40 Ks on the road a
Yeah,
couple of weeks ago. Um, and before that was our longest run was Wonder Falls
yeah.
back in August.
Yes.
So yeah, uh,
We're not hopeful.
we're not hopeful. We're coming to it really undercooked. Um,
So if
so
you want to see an
it's
unmitigated
yeah,
disaster,
if you want to see something funny, wait for us to finish
yeah.
because it's going to be a bit of a train wreck, I think, at the
I
time
think
across
it's,
the finish line.
yeah. I know.
Especially with being at Macedon, the
Final bits of
final bits are
like
really long climbs. So
yeah.
there'll be tears, there'll be swearing, then
There'll be a bungee tied to Ron's waist so he can drag me up the hill.
and then there'll be more tears.
Yeah, yeah. Although the bungee might be cheating, so I better not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, just anyway,
Mm.
Trails Plus race is always good, and we just feel like we need to get out and do these things. To be fair, when I entered the race, I actually thought we might do some training, but it's just been a shit show
Yeah,
here.
it has.
Um, and,
Yeah.
oh, at
We're
Cold and
just
Flu Central.
yeah, we're just happy to be doing any running, not specific training for anything at the moment.
Yeah, like seriously, I'm so glad I didn't end up entering. I have got no race for this year because it's just been so bad. And thank God
Where
I didn't enter anything. I was originally planning on doing a race in New Zealand. There is no way I'd be ready. Like
yeah,
I'm fucked.
yeah.
So
And then we entertained for you
yeah,
the
Milo at
Milo
GFBR,
GTR, but
nah.
even that
Oh my God, would have been less ready. No.
yeah. So
Yeah, and I'm off to the doctor tomorrow
yeah.
to get blood tests just to get everything checked because I just want to make sure. Well, I'm getting my hormones checked, so we'll
Mm.
see whether it's that time of life. I don't know whether it is. I don't know, but we'll see.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, so because I'm just
Not
feeling
that I mean, not that it really, even if you do find out,
perimenopause. We're talking
it
about.
is what it is, and
Yeah, I mean it's got to
it's
happen at some
yeah,
point. It's just like I'm 55. Come
yeah.
on, seriously? Like I don't know. Like every time I get tired, we're like, is it perimenopause? I don't
Yeah,
know.
is it finally starting?
No, I don't know. I don't know. So,
Yeah.
um, I'll go to the doctor. I don't know. Last time I had the bloods checked, she said it would be a few years before I went into perimenopause. So I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. But yeah, anyway, get that checked. At least knowledge, like if she says no, you're fine, it's not that, then I've got to look at what else is going
Yeah.
on, you
Yeah.
know? But at least if I know that it is, then I can start doing things to actually help that. But
Yeah.
when you don't know, you don't know and you
That's
can't
right.
do anything about it.
Yeah.
So, yes, there we go. That
Mm.
was my wisdom for the day. If you don't know, you don't know.
Fantastic.
And it's all downhill from here. All right, thank you for
Uh,
joining us, even if we were a little bit, I don't know.
Waffly.
Yeah,
I think we're a bit waffly today,
I think so.
more so than normal.
Yeah, this was going to be a really good pod in my head, and it ended up being, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I
Well,
apologize if it was
if you
crap.
got through this far through, well done.
Yes.
Congratulations. That was your own little ultra.
Yeah, that's right. I hope it wasn't too much of a sufferfest. So, yes.
And thanks for
Anyway,
listening.
thanks for listening, and we will catch you next week for 10 things smart runners don't do.
Don't do.
Don't do it.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I've got to stop it, don't I?
Yeah, that would help.
Oh, there we
All
are.
right, we'll say
All right.
goodbye again. Bye.
Bye.